Welcome back to another Black Sabbath video where we'll rank all the Ozzy era albums from Black Sabbath to Never Say Die. I'm gonna rank this in descending order, 8 being my most hated one. I don't hate it, it's just, it has no replayability. First off on the list, Technical Ecstasy. It sounds too funky for me, and Tony Iommi has a lot of great stuff going on in this album, but it's not good for me because too funky. So I'm gonna put this at my rank 8 spot. Okay. Next, we have Never Say Die. I like the album very much. It's got some good stuff like A Hard Road, Swinging the Chain, good stuff. The title track Never Say Die, and another fun song which is Johnny Blade. Johnny Blade! All that stuff. Next, this is gonna hurt a lot. I'm putting Master of Reality next. It's a masterpiece. Come on, but there are better Sabbath albums. Every track is amazing. Even the filler Embryo, which is just an instrumental. But it's a good album. I would play this. I would still play this a lot, but unlike those other two, which are gonna be like the last place, the next albums after Master of Reality, or actually including Master of Reality, all of these albums are in their own realm, far from Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die. But yeah, for my 6th spot, we're going for Master of Reality. It's sacrilege, but come on, how are you gonna rank all the other albums without putting something low, like Master of Reality? Also, my favorite track here is fucking Solitude. It's good. Ozzy, at first, when I listened to that song first time, I didn't even think it was Ozzy. It was good. She sounded amazing. Up next is gonna be their second studio album, Paranoid. Now this was the very first Black Sabbath album I've listened to, and it took me around 2 months to listen to another Black Sabbath record because I thought, oh, this is their best, and I'm not gonna listen to anything else because it's their best. I will just keep replaying it until I get tired of it. I didn't get tired of it, but I did, however, stop listening to the band for a while because I had like other bands to listen to, like King Crimson, I don't know, Slint, Radiohead, those other bands. But yeah, Paranoid at my number 5th spot. Favorite track? I'd say Ferris Wheel Boots. Yes, epic. The jazz influence on that album because of Bill Ward, those in between Tony Iommi riffs and solos, top notch. Up next is Gonna Hurt Me Again, their debut album, Black Sabbath. It changed heavy metal a lot. I mean, technically it started heavy metal, but there are still influences from prior artists who try to replicate or pioneer metal, but this is where it started. This is where every fucking metal genre started, I believe, from this album, their debut one. Some influences I noticed were the Jimi Hendrix ones, and also my favorite track here is a cover, the Black Sabbath, The Warning. I believe the original song was shorter than the one present in Black Sabbath's version. Tony Iommi's a fucking genius. He made this album so better with the warning. If it didn't include the warning, I would probably put Paranoid above it. But yeah, my number 4th spot goes to Black Sabbath's debut, which I know will trigger people. Just my preference. Up next, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Now these top 3, I could list them in any fucking order, and I would still like every single one. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. I think it was the 3rd or 4th album I've listened by them. And first listens, it wasn't very good. Like, it sounded all over the place, prog-ish. But since I like King Crimson, I tried to listen to it more, and yeah, it got better. Every track is a solid track here. Even Fluff, which is just an instrumental, like dun 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 dun, you know, acoustic stuff by Tony Iommi, but it makes the album great. Favorite track, I would say Killing Yourself to Live. There's like 4 different parts in a single song, which is insane, and they all sound complimentary. So 3rd spot goes to Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Also, I'm gonna mention its cover arts, front and back. It's just cool. It's so cool, you know. The artist did a great job displaying how Sabbath feels. My top 2 album by Black Sabbath, Ozzy era only. I'm gonna do separate videos for each era. I'm not gonna include 7th Star because it's just Tony Iommi. So, Sabotage. Yep. A very, very underrated album. But it's beloved by fans, but if you just casually listen to Black Sabbath, few albums, few records, like their mainstream stuff, you probably won't get into Sabotage. But they are so angry at this album, you can feel it. I blasted this on the speaker, not even max volume, and it sounds absolutely wild. It's just, I don't know. I love the album cover. See, at the back, it's flipped. And it's flipped. Like, amazing. I think this is when they started contemplating whether or not their labels are actually good people. So, Sabotage. The labels were fucking sabotaging them. So they named an album Sabotage. Made it all about those record problems, label problems. Sabotage. Rank 2 spot. I could put this at number 1 if the next one didn't exist. Like 100%. This would be in my top 1 if the next album, the first album, didn't exist. Volume 4. Volume 4. Where do I even begin? How do I explain my first spot, first rank on this album ranking? How would I explain Volume 4? Doomy, heavy, they're fucking heaviest, and don't get me wrong, Changes is a fucking amazing track, featuring just Tony Iommi on the keys and Ozzy Osbourne blasting out that emotional feeling. Like, I'm going through changes. A lot of people hate that track, but it's one of my favorites. My favorite ballad from Black Sabbath. Why am I only mentioning Changes? Come on. First track, Wheels of Confusion. Superb. Especially that first part. like very bluesy, heavy. Second part's alright. Next, Tomorrow's Dream, another solid track. FX, it's a 2-minute filler, just them playing around. But come on, it's still great. It's great in this album. Put it in other albums and I would fucking flip out because it sucks. But in Volume 4, it fits super not. Literally heavy as hell. And my favorite track here is Snowblind. Either Snowblind or Under the Sun, because they're both goats in the album and in their discography, in their entire discography. Those two, just the first solo in Snowblind catch my fucking interest in this band even more. I listened to this before listening to Sabotage, Technical Ecstasy, and Never Say Die. So it's like one of the last albums I listened to by them. And come on, the cover, just Ozzy posing, and just the band's name and then the album name. It's so cool. I don't know. It's much cooler than Technical Ecstasy. Like the album cover of Technical Ecstasy is dope as hell. I prefer this, but this would be my second, like, favorite album cover art. Never Say Die. I'll put this at my second best. Volume 4, Black Sabbath, first spot. Favorite track dash S. I mean slash X S is Cornucopia, Under the Sun, Snowblind. Those three. Out of those three, I would just go for Snowblind. You know, like if you would make me choose life or death, like Snowblind or Cornucopia and Under the Sun, I would go for fucking Snowblind any day. Life or death. You know. And that's it. That's it for my album ranking. Very cool CDs. I just got them yesterday. All the albums are amazing. Don't get me wrong. Best era, 100%. I'll be doing a Dio one and a Tony Martin one soon, but I haven't finished Tony Martin's era yet. And also Dehumanizer with Dio. Looking forward to it. I've listened to Headless Cross, Eternal Idol, and Tear for the Tony Martin era, and Mob Rules, Heaven and Hell for Dio. That's it.